Did we find our perfect tent? We did, and we actually love it. Hi guys, welcome back. Well, this season you saw me struggling a bit with finding the perfect tent, and I started with the Z-Pack Duplex, which I could finally bought after saving money for years. But it turned out to be quite a disappointment for me, because I can understand why that is a great tent when you're out wild camping and everything, but as we are not allowed here and we are always having to camp on campsites when your neighbors are sometimes barely a meter away, it did not offer me enough privacy, because when I was trying that tent out, several neighbors on the campsite told us that they could see what I was doing inside my tent, and that didn't feel good. So I decided to change the Z-Pack Duplex into a Gossamer Gear the 2. Well, you saw it on my video from Kiteland Pod. I will link it above here. That was one complete failure. It was one big disappointment, and I decided to get rid of the tent just as quickly as I got it. And then the search continued, and eventually I ended up at the MSR Freelite, and I will blend in a photo of that tent right now. And that turned out to be a great tent. It was the MSR Freelite 3, so it was a 3-person tent, and it offered a huge amount of space on the inside. But there was only one big downside, and that was the height of the tent. That wasn't even a meter. It's, if I'm saying correctly, 91 centimeters. So I could sit up straight, and I am not big. I'm 163, and I had to sit like this. I could not lift my hands or anything. Changing clothes in the tent, that wasn't possible at all. So yeah, I was deciding a bit, I got that tent, it's fine in space, but I felt really claustrophobic in it, although it was spacious because it was so low. And then I found this one here, the big Agnes Tiger UL3. So it's also a 3-person tent. And that turned out that was absolutely a game changer for us. It was a perfect tent, turned out later. And what do I like so much about this tent? Well, mainly it is the space that this tent offers. Of course, it is a 3-person tent as well. I will show you the space inside in just a second, but it is so roomy from the inside. You can see it when I'm sitting up right now, that it comes way higher than my head. So, and now I'm sitting on a chair. So when I'm sitting inside, I have so much space. It really feels almost like a castle from the inside. So we have been using this one for a few backpacking trips now, and I think that I can say we did find our perfect tent. I absolutely love it. It's great in pack size. It fits easily in my backpack. And the weight in my scale, it comes in at a little under 1.4 kilograms, which means that this tent is way lighter than the most 2-person tents that I can find here in the Netherlands. So that was an easy choice to make. Less weight, more room. I'm fine with the 3-person tent. So yeah, that's great. And it's so easy to set up. Even in the dunes of Texel, it was set up within 5 minutes, I think. As you can see here, you can't go wrong when putting up this tent, because everything is color coded. The yellow one goes in the yellow clips, and the outer tent also has the same color coding. This side everything is orange, on the other side everything is gray. So nothing can go wrong here. You can't go wrong with setting up this tent as well in regards to the poles, because everything is it's just one pole. Everything is attached to each other. And it's really sturdy. Of course, in the dunes it was very windy. The tent didn't go anywhere. The stakes that come included, some people say that they are not the greatest, but I think they are absolutely fine. They hold well in the scent of the dunes as well. They hold great in the forest. So yeah, that's a great thing for me as well. Do I have any negative things to say about this tent? Well, I think for my personal use, or for the use for Ravi and myself, I don't think so, because I haven't found anything so far. There are some things that are being mentioned in other YouTube videos that people don't like about this tent, and I will talk through them as well. In regards to the size of this tent, I will blend in the exact measurements of the tent right here as well. And yeah, I'm going to show you the inside of the tent, and then you can see how spacious it really is. I think there's one thing on this tent they did a little bit unhandy at Big Agnes, because as you can see, This side of the tent, the doors opens to that one. This is the only side that has a clip to attach the door to. This side doesn't. So that means I have to open that side. But that also means that the zipper is all the way in there. So you have to crawl into the vestibule, which is very spacious, by the way, to open the tent. On the other side, the other entrance of the tent, it's in the opposite. So that's great. That's on a good one. So usually I set that one up in the front side. But for some reason I didn't do it today. But yeah, that's the thing. I think they can reconsider at Big Agnes, because that's a little bit unhandy. Because as you can see, I have to go in all the way. And now the grass is wet. So that means wet trousers. A little bit of a downside, but not something that I say it makes this tent a bad tent. So the tent has a two-way zipper. One goes up here and the other one you open at the bottom side and goes up to here. Same on that side. One goes from there to there and the other one goes from there up to there. Well, as you can see, I can sit up very easily in this tent. It is huge all around me here. I can stretch my arms all the way up and I'm feeling the inner tent just a little bit. Maybe you can see it shake a little bit. That's why when I'm taking it really with the tip of my fingers, so great to change close to that way. I don't even near the side of the tent. I will show you in a second. So it's absolutely huge. If I lay down in it, I can lay out completely spread it, not touching the sides. So yeah, you see a castle. I will show you from the inside. See, my feet are there and I can even move all the way down, still not touching it. And it goes all the way up to here, the highest point. Me with stretched arms, completely stretched, and I'm now touching it a little bit. And on the other side, see how far that goes? Now I'm sitting towards the other side and well, you can see my toes because I'm heading down the camera, but if I keep it straight, you don't even see me. See how huge? So each side of the tent has a vestibule and that offers a huge amount of space as well. I'm not a fan of cooking inside of a tent, but I think when the weather is really bad, you have enough space here in front of the tent where you can boil some water to make some dinner anyway, even if it's raining a lot. So I will show you how the tent closes up. So you have two zippers and the top as well. Have to be aware a little bit of the rain flap, and that's also one of the downsides that has been mentioned in several other YouTube videos, that it gets caught within the zipper very easily, and that's something that I think is correct, because you really have to put that away in order to close the tent. And as you can see how big it is, it's almost too big for me to reach it because I am so small. So yeah, plenty of space here in the vestibule as well. You can put all your gear in, shoes. I can even put my Helix Chair Zero in it at night. So yeah, great amount of space. It is a 3-person tent, but as being said more often in other videos, it's highly recommended that you always size up. So if you are with just on your own, it's always good to have a 2-person tent. When you are with 2 person, it's good to have a 3-person tent. So let's consider Ravi as a person. We are with 2 and therefore we decided to go for a 3-person tent. And we love it. So I hope this gives you an indication of the size of the tent from the inside, the room it has to offer. Again, I can stretch out completely and have plenty of room. I have a regular white sleeping mat which fits in so easily, and Ravi can sleep beside me. His sleeping bag fits in great as well. my pack goes at the bottom of the tent, and I can actually keep everything inside without any problems. And that's what I was searching for in a tent. Room to sit up straight, being able to change clothes in the tent, putting all my gear inside. Well done, Big Agnes. You made us very happy. So what I'll do now is I will open the tent again, and I will show you something on the outside that has been spoken about on YouTube as well as a downside of this tent, but why for me it isn't. My own rule, always take your shoes off in the tent. So this is actually the point that's being discussed on YouTube a lot when people say that they don't like about this tent. Because as you can see here, the guy lines are on one fixed length. You cannot adjust them. Usually you have those clips here that you can pull to tighten up the tent. And this is the one from the outer tent. You have to attach that to the same stake as you put the inner tent on. So this goes on top of it, and then you have no possibility to adjust the length and to tighten up. And I can see when you're wild camping and the ground is uneven that this might be a problem because you cannot attach it and adjust it. So yeah, that might be a problem, but for us it isn't, because we are not allowed to wild camp. We have to camp on campsites, and the maintenance on campsite here is perfect. The ground is so flat, so level, and that you can't go wrong with that. So for me personal, this isn't a problem because I'm actually always camping on leveled ground. So for me, that's not a big thing. So that was a quick view of my new tent. Well, new tent, we have been using it for several times this season. The Big Agnes Tiger UL3 tent. For us, so far, our perfect tent. We absolutely love it, and I think it will bring us a lot of joy in the 2022 backpacking season. Thank you for being part of this video again. As always, enjoy the outdoors, and we will catch you on the next trail. Goodbye.